Welcome to AC 24/7. I'm Aaron Dean. Scary moments for former royals Prince Harry and his wife Meghan. They were involved in a car chase that is eerie similar to the one that killed Harry's mother, Princess Diana. According to a statement from Harry and Meghan's spokesperson, it happened after Meghan was honored at the Women of Vision Awards in New York City. After Harry and Meghan left the event, the statement describes a relentless pursuit by highly aggressive paparazzi lasting over 2 hours. Harry's team said it involved half a dozen blacked out vehicles driving recklessly while on the phone, taking pictures, driving on the sidewalk, reversing on a one-way street, and running red lights. They say the pursuit resulted in multiple near collisions and was, quote, near catastrophic. No one was hurt. Markets are growing more anxious as the debt ceiling showdown goes on. President Biden takes off for Asia and the Treasury Secretary warns time is running out. The Advocate Channel has the latest on the debt ceiling drama and how it's already impacting the economy.
President Joe Biden taking off for Japan Wednesday, leaving ongoing debt ceiling negotiations in the hands of aides and expressing confidence.
America is not a deadbeat nation. We pay our bills. The nation has never defaulted on its debt, and it never will.
With a meeting of G7 leaders in Hiroshima at the core of his agenda, Biden has cut short his original itinerary, foregoing stops in Papua New Guinea and Australia. He plans to hold a press conference when he returns to Washington Sunday, meaning he expects progress while he's gone.
We're going to come together because there's no alternative to do the right thing for the country.
Hill leaders emerged from a White House meeting Tuesday, describing it as productive, but without a deal.
We still have a lot more work to do between now and the day we bring the legislation to the floor, but yesterday's meeting was a promising step in the right direction.
But any compromise is going to be a tough sell to House Speaker Kevin McCarthy's Republican caucus, many of whom want deep spending cuts and rollbacks of key Biden agenda items in exchange for their support.
I'm optimistic of our ability to work together. Do we have obstacles? Yes, we have a big obstacle in the White House.
Meanwhile, Wall Street is eyeing negotiations more closely as the deadline looms. Top bank executives are slated to meet with Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen on Thursday. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Vice President Kamala Harris hosted a group of young entrepreneurs at the White House this week. The group, all men of color, participated in a discussion about the challenges of owning small businesses. The vice president commended their grit and creativity. The Biden administration hopes to invest $100 billion in minority-owned businesses in 5 years. And the vice president was on hand to deliver opening remarks at an annual gathering that supports women in politics. Emily's List hosted the We Are Emily Gala, honoring former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And it singled out Democratic elected leaders who work to protect democracy, defend reproductive rights, and make positive changes in their community. The group backed Vice President Harris in 2020 as the first woman vice president in U.S. history. In Missouri, a 15-year-old high school student got punished for doing what many argue was the right thing. Mary Walton recorded her geometry teacher after he started using the N-word in class. She was given a 3-day suspension. Here's a look into why.
Is the word allowed?
Video shared on social media shows a high school teacher using the N-word at least twice in a Missouri classroom. Mary Walton, a 15-year-old student, disturbed, began filming.
I'm not calling anyone. I understand. I can say the word.
That was May 9th. The teacher was initially placed on administrative leave, the principal calling the language, quote, inappropriate and inexcusable. A week later, that teacher has resigned. A statement from Springfield Public Schools announces he is, quote, no longer employed. But Mary was also punished. Suspended for 3 days over the recording, the harshest penalty for this type of offense under school cell phone rules, her lawyer says.
We've asked them to lift the suspension, let her go back to school immediately, and apologize. Mary saw something that she believed needed to be reported.
According to a news release from Mary's attorney, Natalie Hull, the geometry teacher interrupted a conversation between students about the slur, using the word several times before the recording starts. Students explain its derogatory context before one cautions the teacher about using it.
Say right now, as a teacher, if you want to keep your job, this isn't a threat.
About 50 seconds into the short clip given to CNN by Hull, the teacher notices the camera recording him.
No.
The school district says its discipline is, quote, confidential per federal law, but noted that the student handbook limits inappropriate use of electronics and considers the identification of minor students when disseminating video. The school district also prohibits, quote, recording of faculty or staff in the classroom without prior approval and recording, quote, acts of violence. Hull claims that the policy is problematic and it has a chilling effect on students like Mary looking to hold authority figures accountable.
They could get in trouble for capturing evidence of a crime.
The security guard who shot and killed a suspected shoplifter at a San Francisco Walgreens last month will not face criminal charges. The DA's office says that Michael Anthony acted in self-defense, releasing surveillance video showing Banco Brown attempting to leave the store. Brown then appeared to turn around and move toward the guard. According to the report, the guard said Brown had repeatedly threatened to stab him prior to the shooting. Police did not find a knife. An attorney representing Brown's family plans to sue the guard and Walgreens. Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron will face Democrat Andy Beshear in that state's gubernatorial race in November. Cameron won the Republican nomination for governor, beating Kelly Craft, who served as Trump's ambassador to Canada and then to the UN. Trump endorsed Cameron early in the race. If elected, Cameron could become the first black Republican elected governor in American history. Only 3 black governors have ever been elected in U.S. history. Lawmakers have called for more rules and regulations around AI, but first, they need to understand it. The Advocate Channel is in Washington with a look at what Congress wants to know and what the tech industry sees as the greatest risks.
The next big thing in technology is already here, and Congress is playing catch up.
Too often, we have seen what happens when technology outpaces regulation.
A Senate Judiciary Subcommittee hearing kicking off Tuesday with those AI-generated remarks. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman testifying amid concerns sparked in part by the technology behind his company's chatbot tool, ChatGPT.
My worst fears are that we cause significant harm to the world.
Artificial intelligence has generated many fears, replacing or disrupting human jobs, spreading misinformation, perpetuating biases, becoming too prolific or powerful.
I think if this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong.
And it's strong skepticism from the public, lawmakers, and even the tech industry.
I can't recall when we've had people representing large corporations come before us and plead with us to regulate them.
Altman said he is mindful of the risks, but there are benefits to pursuing the technology responsibly.
We are working to build tools that one day can help us make new discoveries and address some of humanity's biggest challenges, like climate change and curing cancer.
Lawmakers noting the federal government's failure to regulate social media, serving as a wake-up call.
Sensible safeguards are not in opposition to innovation.
As AI's real potential remains uncertain.
What kind of an innovation is it going to be? Is it going to be like the printing press, or is it going to be more like the atom bomb?
In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
And thank you for joining us on AC 24/7. For more, go to theadvocatechannel.com and subscribe on the Advocate Channel YouTube page. For AC 24/7, I'm Aaron Dean.